So we've just returned from Ballina Courthouse in the Joe Doocey case again, where we were trying to get an update on what exactly is going on regarding the armed raid on the Doocey premises back in January. Now, the guards have held on to private property seized in that raid. We argued that the raid was illegal from the word go because no warrant was shown. The nature and circumstances of the raid were alarming, to say the least. 20 armed detectives descending from the special detectives units, etc., etc. The first thing we were surprised to hear today is that the state barrister, who incidentally refused to give his name to us when we asked him to, he asserted that the DPP's office is requesting an adjournment till October, believe it or not, upon which time they will supposedly give an update to the court. Joe argued against this and said that it's outrageous that the guards can seize private property in an illegal raid and hold on to it for months after months. It's now 3 or 4 months since they did the raid. But the best we could get out of the judge, unfortunately, was that the matter would be adjourned to June, which will be a full 6 months that the Doocey property has been seized. And the only explanation we got from the state was that their investigation was now mushrooming. It had international aspects, that they were investigating a massive conspiracy against the state, etc., etc., etc. And all of this apparently predicated on an email which, we must make this clear, they allege was sent from Mr. Doocey's property. Mr. Doocey put it on oath today that he did not send that email. And we did raise the question with the judge as to could it be possible that somebody else could have sent that email for the express purposes of setting up an outspoken member of Integrity Ireland, and thereby the guards have an avenue to get in, seize Integrity Ireland files and such like, and hopefully create a case against us.
Yeah, very surprised at the judicial system, although I shouldn't be at this stage after dealing with it for over 15 years. I was highly surprised in the end at the judge's attitude that he was facilitating the Gardaí with as much time as they needed. I've already stated that over the years I've been framed and set up by Gardaí, and now I think they've been facilitated in that they can do it again. I've sent no email that they claim. They said a threatening email was sent to a judge, who incidentally I was a Mackenzie friend in front of a few weeks ago, whereby I identified myself to her and she seemed unaware of anything, so they obviously hadn't informed her. They're trying to make out now that I'm an international terrorist, which is laughable. They're trying to make out that Integrity has mushroomed into an international organisation that we're threatening the state, so it's just gone into fantasy land at this stage. And this is probably what we have to worry about when we fight with the state and when you try to undermine corruption. There's a lot of people high up in the ranks, within the Gardaí, within the government, in various parts, civil service, etc. They don't want to be undermined, they don't want to be exposed, but as I told the judge today, as a member of Integrity, or as Joe Doocey or whatever, I'm going to keep exposing it anyway. And they can try and set me up again. But yeah, very disappointed in the judge's outcome today, that he wouldn't return the stuff. He's actually given them the chance now to put stuff on computers and phones and to come up with a story and set us up again. So we'll just keep an eye on it.
Well, on that matter, did you have something?
Yeah, it was interesting to be an observer there today and to listen to the judge 5 times refer to the word murder, and actually murder cases in Ireland recently in relation to this. And it had absolutely nothing to do with what was going on in the court today. They're trying to associate that kind of stuff with these guys, and we all know that there's no truth in that. And I found that very strange and very, very worrying, personally.
Perhaps we should note, in regards to our activities in Casbar Court a few weeks ago, where we initiated citizens' arrests. There are 3 points I'd like to make clear. First of all, we made it absolutely clear that we were lodging a complaint against Garda management, that we did not want the matter sent to GSOC, partly because we also arrested Fintan Murphy, the Mayo County Registrar, as well as 6 attending Gardaí. Almost immediately I got a letter from Superintendent Joe McKenna advising me that the matter had been sent to the Garda Ombudsman. Shortly thereafter I got a letter from the Garda Ombudsman asking me was I happy for them to investigate. And we had a lengthy conversation, and you can guess what the contents of that conversation were. I've told them that I will not deal with anybody other than the commissioners, the GSOC commissioners themselves, because of the history of futility, frustration, exasperation, runarounds that all of our members have been experiencing when trying to take complaints to the Garda Ombudsman. We're back to one very key issue. I did ask the guards would they accept jurisdiction for the arrests we made in Casbar courthouse a few weeks ago. That question has not been answered. So we now have to go back to them again and press the issue, because they are, to all intents and purposes, completely ignoring the fact that citizens' arrests, legitimate citizens' arrests, were conducted on that day. It's just been completely ignored, and I suppose they're hoping that we'll just run out of steam and energy and let the matter drop. We're not going to let the matter drop.
I think that's the reason with the extension of time today that they're hoping that case disappear as well, that was in the courts today. Now I made a few points in the court today to the judge that the reason for the raid, which I believe is that I put up a corruption video on YouTube called Joe Doocey Corrupt Gardaí Destroyed My Life. They raided the house 72 hours after. I also started an online petition for the impeachment of Judge Mary Devons, which may also have been a reason. I'm also bringing back historic cases to court where it was framed. So I think that the Gardaí are going to have to try and set me up to stop me from discrediting them in the future, and I think that's what this is all about. But integrity members can see through this, they know exactly what's going on, and we have a lot of support, and none of us are going to back down from fighting corruption.
And a last point, if I can add, just last point, it will be very interesting. In a way, I would be encouraging the guards and the special detective units, who again they were brusque with us at best today. We had another guard refusing to give his name. We had our cameraman outside the court, he was assaulted by a detective coming out. I hope we'll get a clip of that up later. It will be very interesting if the guards do decide to issue some sort of proceedings or come up with some sort of charges. I would actually encourage them to do their best to try and find something, particularly to do with Integrity Ireland, that is illegal, improper, or against the law or the Constitution. On the other side as well, they also need to be aware that if they do try and fabricate some charges that are unfair or unjust, we will parade scores of witnesses and affidavits outlining serious malpractice, conspiracy, fraud, forgeries, etc., that has been done by members of Garda Síochána to our members over many, many years. And they should bear that in mind before they decide that they're going to try and fabricate charges against anybody involved in this attempt to control corruption in this country.
Just to put one more note on that if there is any Gardaí that's witnessing any kind of corruption going on with the guards and they want a facility to outlet or vent what's going on, that Integrity Ireland, we will help guards in distress as well.
Yes, yeah, in absolute confidence as well.
In confidence, yeah.
We have a few already on our books,
yeah.
And we'd be happy to put you in touch with each other.
That's sort, you know that. Why'd you hit me on the head for?
Behave yourself if I were you.
Why'd you hit me on the head?